President Biden and his administration being accused of ramping up hysteria around the new COVID variant. The White House announcing today the first case of Omicron was detected in California. While the president is urging Americans not to panic, the White House is reportedly set to start imposing strict testing mandates and 7-day quarantines for people entering the country, including U.S. citizens. And the CDC reportedly forcing airlines to disclose passengers' names and personal information if they have recently traveled to certain countries in southern Africa. Jen Psaki was asked about the White House's latest efforts to curb the virus.
Is the idea that you want people now to kind of wrap their heads around that the president, instead of shutting down the virus, is going to try to help people live amidst the virus and go about their lives, but COVID is going to be here.
We're all sick and tired of this virus, but we need approximately 20% of the population, or more people than are currently vaccinated, to go get vaccinated and go get boosted.
There was also an appearance by Dr. Anthony Fauci at the briefing room, and Peter Doocy asked him this.
As you advise the president about the possibility of new testing requirements for people coming into this country, does that include everybody?
The answer is yes, because you know that the new regulation, if you want to call it that, is that anybody and everybody who's coming into the country needs to get a test within 24 hours of getting on the plane to come here.
Well, what about people who don't take a plane and just these border crossers coming in huge numbers?
You know, that's a different issue.
That's a whole different kettle of fish. Judge Janine.
I got to tell you, I mean, the whole thing's crazy. Look, we've got to learn to live with COVID. We know what it is. We know what we've got to do. I'm going to say this openly. I had COVID, and my cancer doctor, I had cancer. He said to me, you've got to get the vaccine. You've got to get both of them. So I did. I did what he told me to do. But everybody knows what they have to do. And the doctor who found this in South Africa said, I am absolutely flabbergasted at the extraordinary reaction of everyone in the world over the hysteria that this is causing in the markets. And now they're blaming it on the supply chain and all of the impact it's having on people. Here's the bottom line. The courts are against the Biden administration. Louisiana and Missouri, and I believe now Kentucky, healthcare workers don't have to take the vaccine. That's on hold. And big companies can no longer force their employees to take the vaccine. Federal judges are blocking it left and right. And, you know, the bottom line is enough of this. We know how to live with it. I'm not saying it's not dangerous. I'm very careful. I'm older. But at the same time, enough of this. You're going to close down restaurants now. People are going to be afraid to travel now. Now, next thing you're going to tell us how many people can be at our dinner table for the holidays. Nonsense.
Everybody's coming to your house, I think.
Huh?
Aren't you hosting everybody?
I'm hosting everybody at my house.
Good.
The more,
we'll
the merrier.
Speaking of the courts, Jesse, I made a list for you.
Oh, please, read it.
Some of the things that President Biden has done, and then the courts have rejected. There was deportation moratorium.
Yep.
Their attempt to block states from using the American Rescue Plan funds to cut taxes.
Yeah.
That got thrown out. Remain in Mexico.
Yeah.
Moratorium on oil and gas leases. Eviction moratorium. Nationwide OSHA mandate on the private sector. Now this healthcare workers vaccine mandate. And you have the fact that Biden made a threat he wasn't willing to carry out. And the federal workers basically are calling his bluff. So now they're trying to backtrack on it. And then we have Omicron. Throw in a little, like, upsetting the table.
I think it's safe to say the administration has been bumbling. Is that a good adjective? Bumbling? Would everybody agree, even you, that it's been a bumbling response by Joe Biden? So first he declares victory early, and then he has to slide back on masks. And then he never wears the mask at the right time and then takes it off at the wrong time, and then coughs in his hands and then shakes someone's hands. And then he's mad at Florida one day, and then the next day Michigan's out of control, and he says nothing about Michigan. His mandates are getting slapped around silly, like the judge said in federal court. And he doesn't care about China and takes all his anger out at the unvaxxed in this country. It's annoying, and everybody sees how annoying it is, especially, for instance, if I come back from Monte Carlo on vacation, which I often go to, and I have been vaxxed, I have been boosted, and I have tested negative. I get on the plane and touch down at JFK, and I have to quarantine for 7 days. and not go to work? Well, actually, it sounds good, but it sounds crazy. Luckily, the country's not filled with a lot of international travelers, but if you are an international traveler, you gotta be scratching your head because they're letting COVID caravans from countries cross over with vax rates in the single digits. And not only aren't they quarantining or getting tested, Biden's putting them in American buses, in American planes, and then flying them to Florida, New York in the dead of night, or as Jen Psaki says, early in the morning. You can't double bolt your front door and leave your back door wide open. Everybody understands that except Joe Biden. You mentioned it, and Ducey mentioned it. You got to live with it. That was what Trump said. Biden said, no, we're going to crush it. So Biden comes in, doesn't crush it, and the American people are keep watching him not crush it, not crush it, not crush it, and they're thinking to themselves, this isn't working.
So the point about the Ducey asked Fauci, I think Americans, that's pretty logical, that there's going to be travel restrictions on U.S. citizens coming up at the southern border. You can see it every day on Fox News Channel covering it. The border's wide open.
I wouldn't go so far as wide open, but there's definitely a
Open?
open-ish at certain times.
Open-ish.
If you get lucky. I think the point is that we've gotten to the phase of this where there are a lot of things being discussed and none of them are going to be implemented because the American people have said, we are done. They're doing what the judge did. They're being responsible about their particular cases and helping their friends and families make smart decisions for themselves. I think what is important here is to continue the conversation about encouraging people to get vaccinated and to get boosted. And we know that that's really important for the Delta variant, which seems to be more serious than Omicron. And that's what the head of the South African Medical Association said there. And people now, almost 2 years in, are just making their own decisions about what's best for them and especially what's best for their kids. And we cannot get back to a place where schools are shut down, where kids are back on Zoom school. Parents will not tolerate it of all political persuasions.
It's like it's not going to happen, Greg, and then they also know politically it can't happen because they'll just continue to go down.
You know, this isn't Australia. You know, we run the country. Americans run America. In Australia, the government runs that country, and they don't have a Second Amendment, so they got to do what the Australian government tells them to. That doesn't happen here. But if you look at this particular variant, already circulating, no serious cases, and no cases that involve hospitalization. What are all of these things? They're variables. But those variables are ignored in the reporting. I'm going to quote Scott Adams. It's been a while.
Wow.
His theory of it's single variable thinking. So if you read the headlines right now, first case in the U.S., track the variant spread. First case appears in California, so now it's going to be tracked state by state. So what they're doing, if you Google this first case, you will get thousands of hits. They're all identical. They're CBS, they're NPR, they're CNN, and they all have one thing in common. They're only tracking one variable, and that one variable is the variant. They're ignoring severity, sickness, hospitalization, comorbidities. This has been the way it's been reporting since the beginning. And this is something that drives most bad journalism. If you look at, for example, killer plows through parade. One variable, SUV. That was the variable. Police and suspects interaction ends in death. What is the single variable? Race. So you can't, and then you have a new virus detected, only one variable, its very existence and not its severity or any of these other variables. All of these stories are able to perpetuate as long as you focus on one variable at the expense of all others. And so what you have is a group of bureaucrats who are telling you there will be no return to normalcy because they've got a taste of power and influence. And as long as they push that single variable, it'll never end. It's like taking candy from a baby if the baby was like a baby crocodile. It ain't happening. So,
Snappy Jaws.
Snapping Jaws. That's my nickname in college.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what that
more
means.
in the break. Straight ahead,
Floating
President
Dana
Biden.
head. Look, it's floating Dana head.
I wore the wrong color.
I think you look beautiful.
Oh,
It's
isn't that
fine on
sweet?
America's Newsroom.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.